Hey YouTube, I'm back, we're back, and on this episode of whatever I'm calling this show that we're doing, it's gonna be all about Rayden, because he has been bugging me about how he's not the star of the show, and I don't know if you know this about him. You probably don't, because many of you don't know that much about him yet, because we're going to do a whole episode about it. But he loves attention. That's like the first thing you need to know about him. He's just as much of an attention whore as I am. More of one. I'm gonna get this thing started because I think this show's a lot more interesting if I'm like really high. I'm like pretty sober right now. Today we're gonna learn all about my puppy, Rayden. He's a little camera shy right now, which is weird because he loves attention. Actually, it's not that weird. He loves attention, but he doesn't really like the camera because he kind of knows what I'm doing with it, and he knows that it's gonna take like an hour and a half to get like the right shot, and he's gonna have to like sit there. So if I'm not like feeding him treats the whole time, he'll get really annoyed real quick. When it comes to people, he fucking loves people. He will, anytime he sees a new person, like, especially when they come to my apartment and they're like my friend, he will run up and just like go crazy on them and pee all over them. He cannot not pee. He pees every time. He actually he pees on a lot of people. He pees on my roommate pretty much every time my roommate comes back. I'm pretty much the only person he doesn't pee on when I come back. He's probably not as excited to see me. Or it's because I get really, really mad at him when he does. He just likes people. He loves attention. In fact, the real thing is he loves the world. He loves everything about the world and everything that's exciting to him, even other dogs. Now, he's not the best with other dogs, because he kind of manifests his love for other dogs with a little bit of a, to kind of set the mood. He likes to just like run up at them and, you know, give them a little bite. Hopefully not a real bite, play bite, but it still looks really dangerous whenever a pit bull does that, so we don't really let him do that. We're working on that. We're working on that because it's gotta happen. He needs to go back to the park. Let me tell you about Rayden. Hi Ray, say hi Ray. Say hi, buddy. Here, we're gonna push you forward a little bit. One of my favorite things about him is that you can kind of just like do stuff to him and he just like reacts. It doesn't really care. It just like moves and shit. See, I can like move him around, like put him in different positions. Maybe like he's like Legos or something. All right, let's talk about Ray. I got Ray 2 years ago. 2 years? Has it only been 2 years? Yes. 2 years ago. Oh no. 2 years ago, I was thinking, I've always wanted a dog, and it was like, I'm at a point in my life where I actually think I can handle taking care of a living creature. Part of the reason actually was that I always felt like I had a lot of caring, supporting, nurturing energy that I needed to harness or utilize in some way. And I don't know if I make this very clear on Instagram. I have like really bad trouble with boys. I'm just like not good at it. I don't know what it is. That's a whole nother topic for discussion. Suffices to say, I'm very, very single. And always have been. So it's a little unhealthy for me to like always need to feel like I need to find a boy to nurture. So I was like, you know what I need? What I've always wanted, which is a dog. I've always wanted a dog since growing up. So I was like, this is the time. I've got the energy, I'm stable, I can do this. So I told my friend Drew Fisher, you might know him. He was Instagram famous at one time. Then he gave up that life. Decided to pursue normalcy and a husband. And his dogs were so cute. But Drew, who I love to death, I work out with at 9. And he works at an animal hospital up in Maryland, where he does like physical therapy and rehabilitation for the cutest dogs. And he's got this little like water treadmill thing that's super cute. You should check out his stuff because it's like his Instagram stories are really cute because it's all these little dogs walking on water trampolines, or his own dogs, which are super cute. Anyways, I was like, I need help finding a dog, and Drew's the perfect person to help with that because he knows everything about dogs. And he even initially picked out the idea of a pit bull for me, but then we spent like months and months sending me dogs. We like talked about different things, but like nothing had happened. Just kind of like, all right, we're gonna take this slow and figure out the right dog. But then one day he was like, Jake, I have the perfect dog for you. He's at our hospital right now. We just did surgery on him. His owners brought him into the hospital. They had kept him. He was, at the time we thought he was 8 months old. Later found out he was actually 10 months old. His owners brought him in, and he had been outside on a chain, because that's like apparently a way that some human beings keep their dogs, is on chains out in their backyard, which is really fucking stupid. Just don't do that because it's dangerous. Now, earmuffs. He isn't always the sharpest tool in the shed. He's got a lot of emotional intelligence, super strong. Sometimes he's a little absent-minded professor. So he gets himself tangled up in the chain on his arm, and they find him 3 hours later. I don't know how long it had been on, but I don't think it took 3 hours to cut off circulation. And they brought him in because he needed it amputated. But you find people at MASH, it's called Mid-Atlantic Mid-Atlantic, I want to say Animal Hospital, but that's not MASH. I'll figure that out later. Something. They loved him. He was amazing. But they were like, we're not going to let you keep this dog. So they made the owners sign him over to them for them to do the surgery. So they took him, did the surgery, and had him there. And he was amazing, and everyone loved him, and everyone wanted to take him home. But I was lucky enough to be the one that Drew called. It was like, you have to meet this dog. So he took me up there about a week after the surgery, and I met him, and we snuggled. We just snuggled. Like went there, and there were like these like mats out, and he was just laying there, so I just like laid down next to him, and we like snuggled, and I was like, this is pretty perfect. He's kind of amazing. And I also always kind of liked the idea of a three-legged dog. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I have this like unhealthy need to fix broken things. But I just really like, I don't know, there's something I'm attracted to about adversity and animals and people that have gone through difficult struggles and need love and care. And he definitely needed that, because he was the sweetest freaking dog on the planet, but he had just lost his leg, and he was only 8-10 months old, scared. Oh my gosh, he was so different back then. He was so shy and so sweet and and like, oh my god, you wouldn't even recognize him. So I loved him. I was like, this is it, gotta get this dog. Told Drew, it's a done deal, it's the one. Drew was like, all right, well, he needs to recover some more, but we'll bring you back and get him like a week. I was like, all right. So I spent that week like thinking of names, stuff like that. I had actually always wanted a dog. I always had a name for a dog that I wanted, which is what a lot of people do. My dog name was Falcor, because that's the dog in The Neverending Story, which is one of my favorite movies. And it's like the big fluffy white flying dog, and I just thought that was like an awesome name. It's called like Corey for short or something. See, the problem with coming up with your dog names beforehand is that it doesn't really work. You can't come up with a name for a dog until you know the dog, because it has to fit. So Drew got me to consider thinking about names, different names. And didn't really have anyone sell. We had a few possibilities when he drove me back to his place a week later. And on the drive up, there's this like, we're just like on the highway, there's this dude walking by in one of those like triangle, circular, pointed hats that I think are Chinese, and instantly it made me think of the character from Mortal Kombat, Rayden, who wears that hat. Rayden is the god of thunder. He's like a demigod and like the most powerful character in the game. Total badass. You always want to play with him because he electrocutes everyone. He's a little crazy, pretty crazy, but he's just awesome. And I was like, you know what? That is a perfect name. Because like, this guy is super powerful, and you know that. Like, he doesn't look it, maybe, you know, guy walking around in some robes and a hat, like, might not be like the guy you think is the most powerful guy. The guy, little one walking around with like 3 legs might not be the one you think is the most powerful, but he's got powers. So that was it. I was like, Rayden, that's it. I almost went with the original spelling from the game, which was Rayden, but I wanted to call him Ray for short, and I thought it'd be easier for everyone to get that if I spelled it Rayden, which is actually the way they spell it in like some of the games of the series, or like just like random ones like that are like only sort of canon, but still counted. And I was like, this is perfect. This is his name, Ray. So I got him, took him home. Amazing. He was super shy. For the first whole month, he like didn't make a sound. I hadn't heard a bark. I thought he didn't have a bark. I thought it wasn't a thing that he could do. He was so shy and so scared. But every time he would come out, he would be so excited for everything. Like every piece of grass, every tree, everything excites him and makes him like super excited for the world. And every morning he would come out and he'd be so excited. And this is like something that actually stuck with him, and he still to this day is like that. He's gotten even crazier, and you can see from my Instagram videos, and I'll have some more videos with him maybe on YouTube that showcases craziness more, because right now he's kind of chill. I like it. It's weird. But he just loves the world, and he loves everything, and to him, every day is a gift, and he can recognize that. And there's nothing more amazing than being able to watch that and remind yourself every day that every day is a gift, and that you should appreciate everything around you, because he does. And if he can do it, why can't I? Why can't I look at every moment I have on this earth and appreciate it? And honestly, like, he obviously changed my life completely. Everything, my world revolves around him. Like, even when I'm not with him, I'm still always thinking about him, and it's just like my best friend. I have a few really great best friends that are humans, and the relationships I have with them are very strong and like just like very insight, like just we're very connected. But I can go days without seeing them. Like sometimes some of my like really good friends, weeks or months without talking to them in certain situations, and that's okay. We just like, that's part of the way we do our lives, is like we have each other in different moments when we need each other, and that's kind of how I've gone through my life. But this guy is the type of best friend that I always need by my side, because it's his presence. He might not be able to like talk back to me, but my ability to talk to him, and to be honest, I do a lot of talking to him. I used to talk to myself a lot, now I can just talk to him. He's a good listener. I don't know if he's paying attention. I don't think he understands a word I'm saying, like language-wise, but like, he gets it. He totally gets it, trust me. So Rayden is just like, this is it. This is Ray. And, and why do we call him the DERG? That's a good question that no one asked, but like everyone is kind of wondering. So my roommate came up with that. I don't know why he originally came up with it, but he started calling him DERG from the beginning, and it's really stuck, and it came to become a word that basically meant like goober, because that's exactly what he is. For Jews, there's these terms called shlemiel and shlemazel that refer to, a shlemiel is like someone who like trips and knocks over the food and spills everything all over the place. The shlemazel is someone who is always the person that all that shit falls on and gets like covered in, if that makes sense. And a DERG is both a shlemiel and a shlemazel. He's a goober. He's a goofball. He's crazy. He's weird. He trips and falls, but he gets right back up. I mean, this guy, he has no pain threshold. He literally will walk around, get hurt, bleed, and I won't notice it until later. And it'll be like bleeding, and he won't care. Nothing bothers him. Because he loves everything. He loves life. That's why we call him a DERG. Sometimes it's like the only name we refer to him as, the DERG. Because like, He's just a DERG. Look at him, he's a DERG. He's not a dog, he's a DERG. He only has 3 legs, but his 3 legs are like, he's like better on 3 legs than dogs are on 4. Like his middle leg like goes into the middle, first of all. He's all muscle, literally all muscle. He's a huge muscled teddy bear. That's how I think of him. Because he acts like a teddy bear, he's super cuddly, but it's all muscle. And like, there's literally nothing else on him. But he's a DERG, he's a goofball. We're gonna, like, I wish I could like have like a little drone, like a GoPro on it that just followed him around and like just recorded him, because like every time he like trips and falls, it's like really funny and cute, and only like I can laugh because like I know that he's not hurt, because he's never hurt. I think other people are like, why are you laughing at your dog who just like face planted? And I was like, literally does that 30-45 times a day. That's just what he does, and he totally gets right back up. He just like pivots. He's used to falling and moving fast. He's like much better at other dogs at falling, and so that's like his advantage. He's not as fast as all other dogs, although he can totally keep up with other dogs. But his best skill is his ability to like fall and like pivot and get right back up and like move and change direction. And like he's just like he's a mess. He's a total mess, and he's also like really good at being a mess. We'll have to like go take him to a park sometime, and I'll show you how crazy he can get. Because like right now, you'd think he's just like me, like totally stoned all the time. I mean, he might be. I do have CBD. Maybe I'll give him some more CBD. I don't think I've given him any today though. He's still acting like that. Look, he loves this shit. This is just powdered CBD. He licks it. CBD, again, I have my pen. He has his. CBD is good for dogs. I mean, maybe not all dogs, I don't know, like, you have to decide for yourself and your own dog. But it helps, like, he has anxiety. You can clearly tell he has anxiety just like I do, and it chills him out. It doesn't, like, just completely zonk him out. He still has plenty of energy when he wants it, but when he's not using it, he's just like, super cuddly, and just like lays down, and it's just like good DERG. But of course there's no such thing as a good DERG. DERG is the worst. It's a running joke. And my roommate, just like, we give him shit for everything, because he's the worst. He's also the best. He's also the worst. But he's the best. He just like, you know, damages everything. See, last night he just like, his tail just like knocked over like a whole glass of soda and just spilled it all over the place. He's broken like God knows how many things. He's torn up shoes. He used to chew shoes a lot more. One time when we were moving, I think he was a little angry at us for like doing all this shit and like not giving him like extra treats or something. But he like chewed up my roommate's shoe, piece of leather, got stuck in him, and it was too big to pass. So I had to take him to the vet and cut his stomach open, and it cost me $1,500. And even though I didn't pay a cent for him, he's still kind of an expensive DERG because he does a little crazy shit like that. But it's okay. Just don't do it again, because I'm not paying for that ever again. I'm not. It's too much. I don't know. I'll do it myself. I'll like put my hand down his throat and just like yank it out. But he won't do that because I'm training him. He's very stubborn. It's hard to train. Still doesn't really listen to my commands. Sometimes he does, but if there's another dog around, like near a dog park, completely ignores me. I need to work on that. It's one of those things I'm gonna do in San Diego is refocus on another round of training. So yeah, I think this was I don't want to make this video as long as the last one. I don't know how long YouTube videos are supposed to be. When I get high, like the time just goes by. But like, this was a video about Ray, and now you know about Ray. If you have any more questions, post a comment. Do that or something. That seems like a thing you should do. Maybe that'll, I don't know, I think there's only like 5 people who watch this so far. Which is fine, I mean, it's where people get started, right? But yeah, if you're one of those 5 people who watch these videos and you have a question, ask it, because maybe I'll answer it. I'll try. I'm pretty terrible at responding to a lot of things, but I'm gonna try. And before we go, we're just gonna play a little bit. We're gonna play a little bit. We're gonna play a little bit. Come on. Give them a show. Give them what they want to see. Give them what they want to see. They want to see you be crazy. They want to see you be crazy. They want to see you be crazy. 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 Pose for the camera. Boop, boop, boop. This is Ray. This is a video about Ray. It's all about Ray. Are you happy you got a video about you? You're happy? You're happy now that you have a video about you? Everyone knows everything about you. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.